Good afternoon. This is the first Wednesday Wellness Wednesday of 2024. This is something that we wanted to really get into um, last year and didn't quite get there, and so here we go. So welcome. My name's Renee. Glad you're here. Um, Here's what we're going to talk about. There's this thing that happens at the beginning of a new year where we start to look at goals and plans and resolutions, and there's a reason that all of the stores have a bunch of fitness equipment, and Weight Watchers is completely busy in January, and that's because when we have a new year, we want to do some new stuff, and I think it's great. And I don't think resolutions work really. I guess statistically, by January 19th, everything's gone by the wayside. And so I've been really thinking about that for lots of reasons. One of those reasons is that last year I made a big move and went into full-time business for myself at about the middle of the year, and um, did not have anything like a real business plan set up, or just didn't even know fully what I was doing, which is okay. It's not been fun in some respects, and in other respects, it's been perfectly great. Um, but that really gave me an opportunity to think about what do I want out of 2024, knowing that the things that were the most difficult in 2023 were things I had no control over, really. The most difficult things that occurred were outside of my um, ability to start, stop, change. It was generally based on other people's decisions and how that ended up impacting my life, because I'm human and I don't live in a bubble. And as I've been learning to human better, that has also required me to learn to trust and be more vulnerable, and collaborate more, which means open up to more opportunities for things not to work out. And so that was a little bit of some of the things that I experienced in 2023. But I think that while I had a great word of the year for 2023, which was balance, I certainly did. I had to figure out a work-life balance because all of a sudden I was working at home, and the twain met. They were perfectly intertwined, and had to figure out what my schedule was like, my boundaries were like, how I communicated, how I juggled all of the things while trying to reestablish a business I had let go of for a while. So, um, in really trying to figure out what this next season looked like, um, looked at what a lot of people had offering for getting clarity, figuring out who your client is your audience, your marketing, your message. And a lot of the focus was about problem solving, and that's absolutely true as far as you need to be able to solve a problem for someone to have a business. But what was missing was the real human part, the part that is actually really important to me, about what my journey is, so that I am prepared and sustainable and can make sure that what I am sharing lines up with who I want to develop into, what parts of myself are ready to emerge, what parts need some attention and nurturing. And so that has been kind of my lens of that. I'm not looking for a brand new resolution to make everything completely different, or that I need to become, who do I want to become? I'm I am me, and there are parts of me that can grow, but I don't need to become anyone else. Do I want different habits that are going to be able to help me sustain that are going to help me be able to bring the best of myself into all my spaces and places, into my relationships, into my work, all of that, absolutely. But I don't need to become anyone different. I'm actually great, and so are you, by the way. In case you are wondering, and you can obviously view this however you want to. If resolutions are your thing and it lights you up, go for it. If you, goal setting and working out things on habit trackers and all that, that's great. I need something different, and that's what I've discovered at this point in my life, and how my brain works, and all of those things that are, some of which are newer discoveries about how my brain and body work. I need things like relationship and accountability, and that um, building something, co-creating a plan for how we get to experience life in a different way together. So I have that my individually, but also together. Those are the things that I'm really focusing on. And so went through a process that was actually part of a end of quarter four planning um, situation um, at the middle of last year. Middle quarter, third quarter three of last year. That was, what are your goals? What are your plans? And it started out very differently than anything that I'd heard about when it came to business planning. And the questions were, what do you want to feel like in this next quarter? And I have a business degree, and we never once talked about how we feel being part of guiding what we do in our business. And I was really taken with that, and then started to look at um, coming back to values. And so before, on my website and in one of my YouTube videos back in Keeping Your Heart, we did do a family mission statement, and it was this discovery process of what the individual, what your individual purpose was and what the purpose of your family was, or is, and how to, as you're figuring that out, what your core values are, that in your mission statement, that sets in the lens through which you make decisions as a family. And so really borrowing on some of that and looking at coming back to what, my legacy is not going to be that I'm selling a big business or passing it on to my children or any of those types of things. My legacy is not going to be even, you know, how many tens of thousands of people that I've taught, led, spoken in front of, all of that. It's not any of that. It's not my whatever many videos I've done that are floating on the internet, some of which are incredibly embarrassing. It's not that. It's going to be, did I live into my purpose of who I am intended to be in this world, and did I get to bring light and life and hope and truth and beauty and an opportunity for connection and relationship and transformation and all of those things into the world the way that I was meant to. And so, with that in mind, what would that mean for me individually? The type of light that I need, the type of hope, the type of joy. How do I access that? What things can I put in my life that help me to be able to have a calm nervous system so that I can engage in conversation and relationships and activities more thoroughly, to be present with people? What are the things that are really important to me that I want to make sure that I am building and taking care of and nurturing and being a good steward of? And so all of that to say, it brought me back to what is most important. So what is most important, that core value of what is the thing in front of me, that is an anchor. And it was actually ended up being a collection of words. So I'm going to share those with you. And for me, for 2024, the way I want to feel going through and at the end of 2024, is that I experience alignment, and that means that alignment with my purpose, alignment with my source of all that is good, alignment in my activities, that who I say I am lines up with that, so it's alignment, right? So that's one of them. Um, Another one is peace. And for anyone who's followed along with me for any given amount of time, you've probably noticed that there is an awful lot of change and movement in my life at any given time, just because of the real that my family engages in and that I engage in, and the spaces that I say yes to. Um, and so there's maybe been like probably 85% more chaos in my life than I would have chosen had it been up to a selfish version of me. And so the generous, open, curious, um, compassionate version of me, which is what I try to nurture. Um, it means that sometimes I'm going to be experiencing someone else's chaos, and then chaos in the collective sense as well. And the desire for me is not comfort, but peace. I need my brain and body need more peace, need more recovery, need more. The balance word was great, but what I want to have that sense of peace, contentment, grounding, and the version of peace that keeps coming to mind is that harmony, right? So not unison, but harmony, meaning there's lots of sound still, but that it's creating something beautiful. There's a harmonious peace, where things are flowing together, and so that's one of them. And then the last one is abundance. And yes, there's been a it's so interesting having been in a nonprofit space for 20 years, and then moving out of that for a short time into partnering with a social enterprise, and then eventually into my own thing. I've been providing support and services for people for free for a very long time. And now that it's something that um, it's required that there's a payment in order for my family to get the things that it needs, like food, shelter, water, um, and all of those things. It's a different dynamic, and I've been navigating that for the last number of months, trying to figure out how that works. And so the abundance is not, I would like to be a millionaire in 5 years. It's, I want to feel like I don't ever have to say no to someone in front of me who has a need because I'm feeling scarcity. I want to be able to say either I've got this, or I know someone who has what you need. So that abundant feeling where I'm not responding in fear, but I'm responding in love through the lens of love and compassion for meeting needs. That sounds awesome. And so those are my focus values for what I want to be experiencing this year. And so my decisions and I'll be looking at on a monthly basis, quarterly basis, and annual, of how am I going to spend my resources, my time, my energy, my attention will be, is this going to fall into one of these three categories? And so I do have a word of the year for 2024, but I'm not going to share it until next week. That is kind of my visual focus word. But as far as when it comes to planning, when it comes to goals, decision making, all of those types of things, those are the lenses. And so I thought perhaps you might be interested in one of those tools too. So I have this really cool, and I don't know, I'm gonna tell you, I am not, this is my first time doing Facebook Live on this live dashboard into a page, and I don't know all the stuff yet, but I did not want that to be the reason that I didn't show up and do what I told myself I was going to do today, going outside of my comfort zone, showing up filter free, makeup free, uh, just me, to talk about what's kind of been going on and what's the state of the system that I'm in right now, my home, my business, myself. Um, then I wanted to offer something to you. So I actually don't know where I find. Oh, here we go. I think I did it. I think I actually did it. How exciting. Okay, so I think I showed the link. That's my hope. But there's a tool that I created for you, which is a clarity um, tool to help you find your value that you want to focus on. And so there it gives you this, it's not a long worksheet. It might take you 10 to 15 minutes. Depends on how creative you want to get with it. But there's a page, a link that you can go to, and you just put in your contact information, your name and your email, and it'll take you to another page where you click a button and it will download for you. It's PDF, and you'll be able to just contemplate what's going to be central for you in the season. What is it that you want? How's that going to show up in your life? How would you like that to show up in your life? And then there's a page at the end where you can create little badges if you like, if that is your thing. For some folks, that really helps to solidify it. For others, they just want to see the words. But giving you an opportunity to share in this process with me. And so that's a free resource for you for this Wellness Wednesday, this first one of 2024, is your clarity worksheet for your values. So I am gonna wrap it up, and for those who are watching the replay, because I didn't publicize this, no one knows about it. There's zero reason anyone would be showing up live, but I'm trying to get in the practice of for myself. But if you're watching the replay of this, which I hope you do, if you want to put a hashtag replay in the comments, and of course any questions that you might have, anything that I can help direct you toward through the Renee MD website, as we are really looking at exploring those ways that we can continue to engage. We're looking at our wellness and how we can stay engaged, and then growth and all those um, opportunities that we have to bring our heart, mind, body, and soul into compassionate relationship with others. And I'm really happy to help you there. All right, that's it. I'm going to say goodbye. We're just going to let this be nice and awkward here at the end. And I look forward to seeing you next Wednesday for Wellness Wednesday.